Welcome. This is a new series on the hidden parts of healing, where we're going to show how your neck pain or your back pain or just not sleeping well or feeling like you can't really catch your breath may be related to the havoc that your body went through with some fairly common medical procedures. The first one we're going to be getting into is why appendix surgery may still leave you in a lot of pain. So this is Louise, and she's going to be helping me talk through and be able to demonstrate and show you kind of what goes on. And there's a few parts to what I'm going to discuss. One is the procedure itself, some of the hidden parts that you may not realize happened during surgery. And I'm not even going to get into the details, just generalities. What happens to your muscles, and then what are your muscles stuck protecting or not being able to move afterwards, and why that impacts you. So if you've had an appendix, or one of your family or friends has had their appendix out, even if it's the minimally invasive where you just have tiny little scars, there's a lot that happened under the surface. So let's dig right in. Louise, I'm going to let you lay down so we can talk this through. I'm going to put your head here. And we're going to get her legs all comfy. So what you may not realize as part of that surgery is they actually blow your belly up. It is filled with carbon dioxide or gas. And what you may remember is after the surgery that it was uncomfortable and distended, but that's why. Gas takes time to go out, just out of your body. But the thing that all that distension does is it's good for the surgery because it lets the surgeon get all the instrumentation in to actually do the surgery. But everything in your whole abdomen has a little space and can shift around, and it doesn't necessarily all the layers sit right back in place together the way they were before. And then there's the surgery itself, where the appendix is often, or is usually in this lower right-hand corner of your abdomen. And so even though you don't see scars there, your whole belly was disrupted from wherever the different points of access, like draw a dotted line to this corner, and there's scarring inside and disruption inside. So even though it may not exactly be muscles, the tubes tunneled underneath the muscles, there's a lot of layers of muscles in there, they get disrupted. And the scarring, how long were you told to kind of take it easy? Generally 6 weeks is a pretty common metric. And I find 6 weeks is when things are finally starting to calm down, and really 8 to 10 weeks before your muscles feel like they should be able to do a lot of the jobs that they had done before. And so then after that period of time with healing, you just don't feel right. Often we find people have a tight hip or their posture is off. And that's because this whole side all the way down to this corner, the right hip corner, is just pulled in tight because your nervous system is still very protective of what happened there. So let me show you what we find with movement very often. So if I use this peanut ball and I put it on Louise's tummy, and just lightly, and I just want to see, does it wiggle both ways? What we'll find with the laparoscopic surgeries, the minimally invasive, is there's only one direction it moves, and it's usually the direction that they would have put the tubes and the instruments in. So for an appendix, it would be toward me, and so I would find movement to the right, but then if I would go to the left, nothing moves. Louise she still has her appendix, so we're just talking through this. So what we do is support and just gently rock so that all that internal organization can start finding its way together. So kind of like getting shifting sands so that they line back up. So just very lightly like that. What we also find is that then, because this has been so tight and shut down, is that the movement from all the muscles in your core that need to link to the leg, to the back, they're just kind of like standing there like, no, I'm not going to work. And so what we do is, again, support them and support the other part that they need to link together, and just add some gentle motion until they are able to work together again. And it's really that simple, but it's a specific type of support, a specific placement of the support to allow the exact areas that were traumatized by that procedure to do that last little bit of healing, because the surgeon and the medical team, they did their best to help you with that problem with the appendix, but your muscles need a reset so that you can actually function the way that you used to. So that is what the hidden part of healing with when you've had your appendix removed, why you just may not be feeling like yourself. So stay tuned. Look for the next video. It is going to cover why, when you have your gallbladder removed, that sometimes your breathing still feels a little constricted. Catch you then.